Good morning or afternoon. I don't know exactly what to do at 11 o'clock. But my name is Dan Allen. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, top of the hour. And this is our Saturday Q&A on the business side. On that side of our business project, we have two different sides. On Saturdays at 11, we go to honor the trading side with my co-host, Mr. Tito Avila. Sir, are you able to take the call?
Yes, sir.
The helm is yours.
Roger that. Good morning, everybody. Let me get my screen shared here. And if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or you can drop them in the chat. So let's get it going. Let's see.
How was your week, sir?
Wonderful. It's about to be even more eventful this weekend. Got some good things happening out here with the community, and it's going to be good.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
I got to close a whole bunch of windows here because sometimes it doesn't know which one to grab. So keep it simple. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. So let me open the chat window. So who's got questions? We got 15 people in here. I'm sure there's something out there lingering in the abyss of the markets. We're at the end of the month, so I'm sure somebody saw at some point is on their mind.
How you doing today, brother?
Morning. How are you, Cisco?
I'm fantastic, man. Yeah, just a quick question. That I've never seen a chart with that red. What is that red stuff around the what you call it?
That red stuff is one of the indicators that I use, and it's basically just a moving average boundary, basically, and it basically just calculates based on the way that price is moving, a boundary that you can kind of set on the outside. So
it looked like a colored in Bollinger Band.
Yeah, it looks very similar to a Bollinger Band. I believe, let me check here. Yeah, moving average bands, if I'm not mistaken, that's where it originally came from. And then I took it and kind of made my own indicator, like an arroz con mango. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
A rolling R?
We roll the R's out here, man. All day. All right, let me just clean it up here so it's not too confusing.
You can, but I'm not ready for that yet.
All right. So what do we got? What do we got? Toy, where you at, Toy?
I'm here.
Yeah, you got something for us?
Let me zoom in. I'm trying to pay attention to who's coming in too.
Oh, I got you.
While you're talking, Toy, I'll take that job.
Okay.
If you have,
I do have a question, right? So I've been studying, and then I noticed that I had made a little boo-boo with taking a trade at what appeared to me to be a higher high, but it resisted back down. Like how am I trying to ask this question? How would you like know what to look out for when that does happen? Like what would be a key pointer to point out?
the first thing that I would say, I mean, this may be it, but first thing that I would say is you want to always, regardless of what time frame you're on, you want to wait until the candle closes before you decide what that candle is telling you, right? Whether it's a higher high, or whether it's, you know, telling you that it's an inverse hammer or a dragonfly or whatever it may be. You know, if you thought it was a higher high and you acted on it and then it closed and it was something different, that all that's telling you, in my opinion, is that you just got to wait until it closes. I've made that, you know, same mistake multiple times where, let's say even like with alerts and stuff like that, where you can set an alert to tell you about price hitting a certain number, and then, you know, if you have it set to do it right away, you know, you have to just be mindful that the candle hasn't closed yet, right? So if you act upon that, you know, trigger or whatever you want to refer to it as, it might bite you. There's a good chance it'll come back and bite you because these markets are like that. So all I would say is, you know, before you decide to take action on what the candles are telling you, wait for them to close. Let them confirm what's going on. This is why we wait for the test and then the retest and all of that stuff.
Okay. Now, can you go back to your screen, Tito?
Well, one second, Toy. Tito, write this price down.
Okay.
For the Euro USD and then the Euro JPY, the 126.670 and the 1.21406. This is the trade she's talking about, so that way you could put them on a chart and see them.
Okay.
And then now I'm stopping my share, and you got them down.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go.
All right, go ahead, Toy.
Like they say, we ain't no damn miracle workers.
Go ahead, Toy.
Okay. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah. Did you want me to look at something in particular?
Yeah. Look, can you find a dragonfly? Is
But
it
on a
one
cer-
that
on a certain pair or just anywhere?
The
Just
two
on
pairs I
anywhere.
just sent you though. Before that, so that way the trade she's talking about is one I just sent you, the exact trade.
Okay. So EU.
Yeah. And that way, as you're helping her, it can be the trade she's talking about.
Right. Okay. EU. Let's take a look at it. I mean, because if this is the one you're referring to, let's get specific on the time
Okay.
that was taken at.
Yeah.
Do you know what time that was?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was Thursday. It was Thursday, beginning of London.
Thursday, beginning of London. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
once you put the price on it, you'll
Right
be
here.
able to see it.
yeah. Yeah, 121. It was like it was like around here.
So
Actually,
if you make a horizontal ray a little bit back, Tito, and then go to settings, the horizontal ray lets you put the coordinates actually in.
I got you. Okay. I'll just drop this in here like this for now. So basically, it looks like it could have been. So it could have either been Wednesday.
No, it was Thursday morning. That's what I'm saying. Make a
Right here.
line on it, Tito.
So then it had to be right here.
Right, exactly. But so everybody else can see it too. Make a horizontal line, and they can see how it works.
Right. So like right here.
And then go to the right there, just the wheel on the where at the top. Click the line again.
Click on the ray.
Click on the ray.
Yep.
Then you see the there you go. Now on coordinates, or you see the wheel.
Yep.
click the wheel, and then right there on coordinates, you can actually put the coordinates in. Which
Got it.
Yeah, right, exactly. That way, somebody else looking, you can just put the rate anywhere, and then put the coordinates, and it's going to go to that spot.
Got it. Cool. All right. So what this is, you're talking about this doji right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that green one isn't a dragonfly doji.
That's not the
Green
dragon.
was a regular doji. That red one you could kind of consider a dragonfly doji, but those would be the dragonfly doji would be more of a signal for a sell. You took a buy at the top of the run.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this would be like I would look at this like an inverted hammer, but yeah, it would be almost like a dragonfly.
So
The next
what
red
you-
one, Tito, the skinny red one, that's the dragonfly.
I got you.
right there. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Now, when I came in at what I appeared because it looked like it was going up. And then that's when I noticed I jumped in too fast. And then I got stuck in there.
So
Put it on the 5 minute, Tito.
on the 5 minute.
She would have entered, she would have looked at everything, and she would have entered on the 5.
Right. All right. So let me let me just mark that dragonfly. So you went in on the 5, and what happened?
Oh, I jumped in too fast. I clicked it and before I knew it, it resisted back. And then I stayed stuck there for a long time. Oh God, and I can laugh about it now, but I mean, I was laughing still too, but it was funny because I went too fast. I went ahead of myself a little bit.
Interesting. I was going to put on a 20 pips and dip. I think the indicator, something happened where it's not searchable right now on TradingView. So they may be doing some kind of update or something on it.
Okay.
But let me at least get the moving average. Okay. I just want to take a look at what's happening. Okay. So, and you were doing a buy. So what was your train of thought here? So you were looking at the 50 EMA, is that right?
She took the buy at that wick, Tito.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can take the red line over to the left to the actual wick itself. Yep.
You're talking about this one right here?
Nope. The big wick.
No.
The big wick.
The big wick.
To your left, the green candle.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep right. Go over a little bit more. Right there.
Okay. All right. So you took it on that one.
Yeah, right there.
Buy on that one. Okay. So just to understand your train of thought with this. So what was your thought like as that was closing?
So my thought was
like it was the time to enter.
Okay. My thought at that time was because I forget the guy's name, but looking at his teaching in the live trading, I know he said to stay out the middle, right? So I seen the head come up out the water and I'm like, ooh, perfect time to jump in. That was my train of thought.
Okay, so when you say never go in at the middle, you were basically was the instruction specifically when it's close to the moving average? Was that it?
No, he mentioned the peak, like
The
going
peak of the candle.
Right.
Okay, right, because you're going for a sniper entry. Okay. So on the 1 hour, what I'm looking at here on the 1 hour is that particular candle, the one before it, you did get a confirmation that it broke over the 50 EMA, right? And if we take our top-down analysis from the top, right? If we take it from the daily, you can see we do have an upward trend happening, and
Mm-hmm.
consolidation happening right at right at the 50 EMA.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it down. 4 hour. In the 4 hour, it's kind of dancing above and below the 50 EMA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So back to the 1 hour. Here you can see it did break over and it stopped right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you came, so from here we can see that you came in on the one that was retesting the 50.
Mm-hmm.
If we skip down to the 5 minute to where you entered, we have a whole other situation though. So what we're seeing on the 5 minute is that it had long since broken past the 50 EMA, and it was already way up here, and it was making what was at the time a higher high, right? So it had just finished a higher high at that time. And then on that dragonfly, you went in on a buy. So so there's, I mean, from me, and we could look at this many different ways and break it down, but in simple terms, for me, right after that higher high was just formed, right here, I would say for myself, if I see that higher high happen, and now we're you know, we're coming down, it's, you know, 10:30 already, almost in the morning, 10:25, coming up to the end of you know, London. For me, you know, to enter a trade this far from the 50 EMA and that close to a resistance level on a buy, I think that it was a little bit risky, especially with Euro USD, which can be a pretty crazy, unpredictable pair. I would say, at least just for myself, I would probably wait until there was an extra confluence or a set of confluences when it comes to this particular trade. So for example, so yeah, here, so if we look earlier at 8 a.m., you saw there was a nice push over the 50 EMA to close there. So I mean, I wouldn't say this was a horrible decision, because you had some confluences based on the 20 pips and dip strategy, that there may have been some movement that was going to stay up. And ultimately, you know, from where you entered, you know, that you entered basically right at the resistance level. Later on in the day, there was an opportunity for a buy, right? It was already basically at the end of London. So I'm not necessarily recommending that that's what should have been done or anything like that, but you know, you weren't wrong in the sense that opportunity for a buy was there within that session, the New York session. So I would say, don't feel like you made a horrible decision or anything like that. It's just a matter of you know, being mindful of the risk that you're taking whenever you're entering a trade that close to a resistance level for a buy. If you're buying right at a resistance, this type of thing can happen where it can draw down significantly before going the way that you want it to go. So I'll leave it at that on mine. I don't know, Dan, you got some rally?
Yeah, if we wasn't already saying you took the trade on the buy, it looks like Coach Ryan saying right there, the green doji on the left side of your line, that's the rejection, and then the 3 candles later, that's the retest. So this is actually the setup for the 3 R's for a sell.
Gotcha.
So you're almost 180 degrees out of sync. So now the big green bar at the, so I don't make my entry decisions at the 1 hour. I make my, like, I really do the top down analysis and the things that go with that. So we don't even have the chart marked up. So we don't have any foreknowledge before it's time to make the decision. So the first part of this chart is I would have some yellow lines and some turquoise lines before I was even making a decision. So this is called a naked chart, right? So
Yes.
that green doji, the one left to the red one, it could trick you because there's no other lines, right? So we don't know if this is just resistance that you walk into or a key level, and then there's a difference, right? Resistance is where you're at a ceiling at whatever the chart you're on, and it's bouncing for that whatever reason. A key level, which is from Coach Max, is off the 4-hour chart, where price has acted as support and resistance at the same time at different spots, right? So now coming off the 50 is decent, but it's like you said, Tito telling you it's better when it's breaking through the 50, like that red doji, the next one. But this inside of trading, it actually, Tito, remove the red line for me for a second.
Yep.
In trading, this actually has a name. And we were talking about it earlier, me and you, but I'm gonna put it here. It's called having a trap buyer, meaning that price was, and I mean, it's almost like reneging in spades. It don't sound good or bad, but it's rules to it, right? So what a trap buyer is when the market runs up all super pretty, like that green candle at 8 o'clock, and then everybody say, ooh, Bitcoin's going up. And then you jump in, and that's where they go to psychologically catch part of what's called the crowd. So the crowd could be a buyer or a seller, right? It's just called, there's a real polite way to say dumb money, right? And so what they do is they run it up so everybody can jump on board, so they can turn it around. And what a lot of people do, which we did, that's what you do, is you hang in and wait for it to fix itself, which you did do, and it did work out. But you can do that with the Euro USD.
Okay.
Because it went about 30-something pips against you.
Yeah.
But so if somebody has a 20 pip stop loss, they got the head bust wide open. Right? And you actually got out one trade with almost no loss, and the other trade you got out winning because you had a big enough margin account to withstand what I call the storm of making a bad trade. So you were actually 180 degrees out of the training. You got a rejection and a retest, which screams to a sell. But we took a buy, and then you had to wait it out. It's just how this pair will let you, if you have a smart enough risk management. That was the beautiful thing about this trade for you, is that your risk management protected you from a bad trade. Right? A bad entry, because the trade wasn't good or bad. Right? So, but if this was the pound yen, it could have been 100 pips. If this was US 30, it could have been 700 pips. If it was Bitcoin, it could have been 4,000 pips till it took back around. So what you got caught in is so what happens is people got something called FOMO. It's actually a psychological term added into trading. It's called fear of missing out. And that's what they do with a lot of people, especially if you watch the US news. Bitcoin's at da-da-da-da. And so by the time Bitcoin is at that price and it's something to talk about, it already needs to run. It might keep running, but it might hit a resistance too. But if you look at this trade, this is the epitome of what Coach Ryan talks about with rejection and retest, but it's to a sell trade, not a buy trade.
Right. Yep. Okay. Thank you so much.
Listen, I had fun watching it with you because your risk management let us just sit and let it ride through it. We were talking about it when the day was about to end, and you hit me up. And I said, "No, let it ride," because I knew we were in a trade smart. So that's like, this was a great risk management lesson for anybody that's if you got the proper risk management, you can make something that could be bad at least neutral. But bad risk management, it can get crazy for you.
Right.
So no, absolutely. I had fun watching the trade with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tito.
You got it.
Tito, this was a live trade too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. We was texting back and forth all through the jump.
I got you. Yeah, it's so nice when you can catch one of these entries right, like hugging the 50 almost, and you just see that thing break free. This is one of those situations where there's just a lot of hope. You know, like, okay, I hope it keeps going up because we're pretty far from the shore.
But Tito, do me a favor. Measure the retest down Measure it down from as a sell trade.
From her point of entry.
The next one, because that would have been rejection. The next time where price went up to that level and it ran down.
Oh, up here?
Yes, sir. Measure that down. Here's your 20 pips right there.
Okay.
Where you say, okay, price rejected. If I get the retest, I can go into.
I'm sorry, son. I gotta concentrate on this. I heard you say you spilled sugar.
So I just wanted to see what we got 20 pips out of that.
Yeah, no, and not only that, but we have a reversal pattern there, right? Because she came in right at that resistance point.
Right. Came
down, bounced off the 50, and then retested it. It was rejected, like you were saying, the 3R. So we have our classic.
And in that one, Tito, you wouldn't get into the trade until it broke the bottom of that M, right?
Correct.
You would have drew a line at the bottom of the M where that red doji is in the middle, and then you would have measured. You would have took that down trade from there.
Yeah, I would have made this my entry point, and I would have waited. I would have made sure that it would have successfully broken through the 50, and then at that point, I would have measured for my take profit. I would have measured the distance between here and down here, which is roughly 20 pips, and that's what I would have gone for down here.
And so did you get it? Measure that out. Did you get the 20?
Can I ask a question? Is that an example? If I can ask real quick, because I'm taking it all in, Mr. Allen and Tito. Is that what they mean when they say don't buy until it fully close and don't enter, or sell till it fully close? I mean, is this an example of that? Because it seems like it, but I don't know if I have it correct.
Absolutely. That's what Tito started off with, Shahid. Tito started off with that she should have let whatever. So they're on the hour right now, so we still there till 5. But he was wait till the candle actually closes, so that way you don't get tricked. Is what absolutely.
Always, yeah. Always go based on candles that are already written. So you're not going by a story that's being written in front of you, because a twist in the plot can happen at any moment out here.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. It was really fun, though.
Absolutely, 1,000%.
So guys, this is Kim. Kim, and good morning, everybody.
Hey, Kim.
How are you? Can we stay on this for a minute? So I guess, and I have a very elementary question, I'm sure, but I'm totally new to this. So is there any way is there a timer in TradingView, like to time the candle out so you can see where the candle's ending at, so you know where to jump right back in at?
Yeah.
So she can see it, Tito. Go to Bitcoin and go to the minute chart, because she'll be able to see where the counter actually is.
So you're gonna see it right here on the right side, on this bar, on this meter, price meter. You're gonna see right here, that's a timer that's telling you when that candle's closing. So you see this one that's dropping. Watch, boom, back to 60 seconds, counting down. See that?
Yes. Okay.
So that's what you want to watch if you're going for a sniper entry, for example, at the bottom of your top-down analysis or on the 5-minute. You want to make sure you know how much time is left on that candle, or on that set of candles, before you make that decision, where you know that the retest, reject, so you can react. You know what I mean? So you know these candles are telling you something clearly.
And Kim, the reason why we had to go to Bitcoin is because the Forex market is closed on the weekend, so you wouldn't have saw it in live action, but Bitcoin is open 7 days a week.
Okay, thank you. And I guess I'm trying, and so what we're doing, so with TradingView, we've marked up our charts and so forth and so on, but we're actually trading in our MT4 account based on whatever broker we have. Yes, so are you literally just looking at this and then jumping on to your MT4 account to make your buy or sell?
So I got 2 screens, so I'm not jumping. I'm looking at the other screen. and other people have their MT4 on their cell phone, so they're looking at their they're looking at one device with the charting, like with exactly, and then making the buying decision on the MT4 on the laptop version. I mean, on the mobile version.
Okay.
But I got two screens or more, a couple screens. So I'll be looking on this one, and then I'm looking at my MT4 on that one, and then I'll click the button and it'll do what I need to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And some people look on one screen and then they minimize it and go to the other one and then press the button, but they've already made their decision, which is only a couple of seconds difference. And so.
Okay. So Dan, in your case, are you using two computers?
No, ma'am. Two screens on the one computer.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Most laptops have a HDMI port. So
right. I have that. I use it for
Okay.
work, but I just wasn't sure of what we were doing here.
Well, again, what I do is not duplicatable because I got more than one screen, and that might be a big deal for people. But a lot of setups are the laptop is where trading view is, and then the phone has the MT4.
Okay.
So let me real fast, so I can get this last point home. So this right here, Kim, is a screenshot of an MT4 from a phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I just when she was in the trade, we got the screenshot together. Then I put it on the emailed it to myself so that way I could have it in this type of setting.
Okay.
But that's exactly what an MT4 from a phone looks like.
Okay. Well, I have my MT4 and my trading view set up on my computer at this point.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Finally got my big screen set up. So I'm like all day, I'm just like, oh. Feels good to get that thing up there.
Absolutely.
Still getting moved in here. Any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourselves or drop it in the chat.
Lakeisha, what did you see about that trade we just finished talking about? You don't mind me asking you. Miss Lakeisha.
Yes, the one with Toy, the question that Toy had.
Absolutely. Give me some insight. What did you see?
Do you mind going back to that chart, Tito?
Sure. On a Euro US dollar.
Yes.
That was right over here.
Yeah, I understood what she was saying about it being above the 50, because like Coach Max saying, we buy when it's above the 50. But yeah, looking at that, it was wicking out. So that was another key. That was another reason why, that was another sign to show that it wasn't quite ready to buy just yet.
Okay.
The wicks that was before when she got in.
Perfect. Just wanted to get some of your thoughts. I know you're a trader as well.
Yes, sir. I was kicking myself last week because I did a TDA.
When you did snort, it was very lightly. You could barely even hear it.
Let's find out who this is.
I got him.
Okay. Go ahead. You said you did a TDA?
Oh yeah, I did a TDA on Sunday, January 24th, I believe it was, on UJ. And yeah, I knew it was going to go up. I knew it was going to be a buy, but it had a 20 pip drawdown. So I closed the trade. And then I believe on Thursday and Friday, then it started heading up. So I just told myself next week, I'm going to be a little bit more patient with my trade.
Okay. Go to UJ. Let's see what she's talking about. See that? You're at EJ.
You said UJ?
Yes, UJ.
Oh, okay. UJ right here.
So it was around Sunday, before the market opened, we did a TDA.
Right.
The 24th. It probably was Sunday morning or something like that. But anyway, Yeah. So I did analysis on it, knew it was going to head up, but then, so yeah, you're on a 22nd right now. It dropped.
Right here.
Yep.
Okay.
It dropped 20 pips.
Over.
I kind of second guessed it.
Okay.
You remember what time you came in? You said it was at night, right, on Sunday? Like late?
Well, I did the TDA Sunday morning around 11.
And TDA stands for what? Lakeisha, everybody here isn't super already trading gurus like yourself.
Sure. Top-down analysis.
Okay.
Because we always look at it before the market opens so we can expect what, predict what might happen to the best of our ability.
Okay. And so your trading style is that you look at it on Sunday and then you make your prediction for the week or for the day?
For the week. Well,
okay.
Well, I guess for the day, because we are shooting for 20 pips normally.
Okay.
But had I stayed in from Sunday and just kind of ate that drawdown, then I would have got right there, that 115 pips that it went up.
Yeah. So when you took the loss, because you and then you start seeing it going the other way, did you get back in and recoup?
Nope. By the time I looked at it, it was already too late. Because UJ is not a pair that I trade often, but for some reason I chose it for the TDA. It seems like UJ has impulse moves and then it doesn't do anything for a week, and then it has another impulse move. So I was just like, I'm not going to trade UJ.
Okay.
But this week I
hold up, you went against a couple of your own rules. Like, first I ain't gonna trade it, but I traded it. Then I think it's the Bob. Then okay. So you learned a lot this week then.
Yes.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions from anybody else? We at 11:37. We probably got time for. Wait. Look at it, Tito. It teased her, right? It was said, man. It ran up like Dickens out there. But that's what a stop. That's called stop loss hunting, where again the market doesn't just move straight in one direction. It'll go in one direction before it's going the way it wants to go.
Right.
Just for what Lakeisha was just explaining, because the psychology of the masses, the market makers are very comfortable with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But UJ is another one where you could play the game of it's down 20 pips. Let me just let it ride out. Again, if it's, you got to know your pair, because there's certain pairs that would be, you did the right thing. Get out, and if you want to get back in or wait till you are going to be right, or because always just riding the trade out isn't always the best option, and getting out too soon isn't always the best option. So that's one of the things that I like about trading, is that it's not just a cookie cutter. It's just like go to the assembly line and make the same door every day, right? It's a different story happening all the time.
Yes. And for every pair.
Yeah, you can see that resistance there. I might have waited until this one was broken. You can see how many times it retested it here and came down, but you see that right after it broke free from that one, it was gone.
But see, now you're talking hindsight, Tito, because if you look in the middle, that middle one where it ran up, it did run up past it. But if then you gotta, as soon as you buy into it, you gotta ride that down ride that she didn't want to ride.
Yeah,
either way, this one didn't pass the 3 R's test right here, right? Because
well, I was in it before that part.
Yeah.
I was in it, like
around.
I was in it in that area right there, and so when it made
you came in right at market open.
Probably was. Yeah, it was Sunday.
Somewhere around here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You came in right at the open.
Yeah.
Kim, what was you about to ask?
I guess what I would like to see is what kind of analysis could have been done to make that a better story. I guess and I don't know if I'm asking that clearly, but would we have done a trend line? What could have been done to try and just estimate that a little better?
Well, in Lakeisha's story, she had already did a top-down analysis, which you're asking. That's the answer. Have a top-down analysis done, so she had it, and then somewhere along the lines, it would be looking for the sniper entry that Coach Max talks about a lot. So the answer to your question is in Coach Max's training, which is taken from a top-down analysis, and then having a sniper's entry. So if we dissect Lakeisha's trade, it's probably going to be that she didn't have a sniper's entry based off what Coach Max talks about, so that everybody that's listening can go get the information for themselves. And Coach Max, what she helped me with, kind of the most so far for me, Kim, is a phrase she says: "Sit on your hands until you see what you need to see." So for this particular trade, we would have to go do a top-down analysis now, and we're kind of at the end of the call. But that's the answer, though. So get super good at Coach Max's stuff. And I heard that in the back office is actually stuff up under her name now, which is going to be super decent. That's funny. So that's the answer, though, is to wait for that. Like Tito's bringing up a bunch of times that price was confused at that level they drew.
Mm-hmm.
So Tito saying he wouldn't have gotten to a buy. But that's like, what are you saying, Tito? I see what you're drawing. Is you're drawing all the time price calls at 103.890. So
no, it's a key level. I mean, it was a heck of a fake out, which UJ does that. I mean, I often don't trade UJ either because of that. For myself, so I mean, one of my trading rules is I don't really come in on Sundays, just because they can be kind of funny days. And in this case, it kind of, like you were saying, it just teased her, right, with that key level, with that same key level right there, which we can see has been crucial on both the support and resistance side in the past. So that's just something, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback, right? In this, but that's just something to notice. Well, I do this for myself every time I lose.
Right, and I guess that's why we develop trading plans and try to see what we did before to try and correct it going forward. So my other question is, what pairs do you suggest for maybe a newbie, something where you won't have that kind of volatility, or might not be that type of volatility, and what days do you recommend coming into the market on?
Kim, I'm gonna jump first and say I'm gonna recommend the same pair that they're looking at for you, because it's the one Coach Max trades, and you can take what she's saying literally to this exact pair. And then because Tito's gonna have something, and I want him to share whatever it is if you want to, and then I'm gonna have something. And if you heard Lakeisha, she was set to be in a trade for the whole week if she needed to be. I trade differently, so those answers are very deceptive, because there's so much of our personalities into those decisions, right?
Okay.
But if you got the UJ and got Coach Max and got the Epic back office, you're already in good hands. Then you start to find out your personality. I didn't know Lakeisha traded for the whole day to just now, right? I just know she know how to trade. So now I'm never wanting to be in a trade for a long period of time. That was one of the things that Toy called me about. Toy said, it's almost 5 o'clock, should I close the trade? I said, no, because we lose it. It's a different rule. We got enough risk management in place, and there was the right pair. So I didn't get to a long, because me and Toy, we game plan on the charts, right? She's somebody I work with personally. And so, because if it was, she wanted to get it into a trade, if she was asking my advice, I would have told her no. Me and Tito talk about this all the time. But we're in a trade, we're stuck, we got enough risk management, we think we're going to be right later, let it ride, which is what Lakeisha did. She just stopped at 20 pips, where the pitch I showed y'all, Toy was still down 32 pips, and we were chilling comfortably because of our risk management. So somebody to tell you exactly what they think you should do would not be able to take in who you are, what way you like to trade. Are you able to kind of glance at the chart? Or so I don't want to seem like I'm not answering it, but I want to answer it this way. Start off with the UJ, this one right here. Go find Coach Max, download her brain. Like, that's what I did my first 5 months of knowing her, right? She said something, I wanted to know why she said it. I wanted to go back it up. And this impulse move that Lakeisha saw on Sunday, she just didn't get a chance to benefit what she saw on Sunday. She wasn't wrong at all.
She was right. She was 100% right.
I understand.
Well, she was right 100 pips. But she had to go down back to trusting her own trading plan she might then sit on her hands is where I think it probably would have been at for a sniper entry. But if you follow the Coach Max game plan with UJ, you're gonna have a hard time not having fun. You're not gonna take as many trades as everybody else because you're gonna wait for confluence, but you're gonna be a comfortable trader.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and,
And
and this
I'll be
and this may
reaching
have
out.
just been a case of
Definitely.
breathing room. This may have just been a case
Oh,
of having.
absolutely, 1000%, 1000%.
Yeah, that's it. Because this was a good
1000%.
trade, great trade.
And Tim, I can't wait till we start. You already know. You already know.
Okay.
Yeah. I got it. That's why I'm giving you. I'm giving you specifically this recipe because when you do that, by the time me and you start doing our games, I already know where you're coming from because you're coming from where I'm coming from because all I talk on all these calls is Coach Max, and there's a bunch of traders. But if it's like we both grew up in my mom's house, we both know when to cut the light off when we leave the room. Like, so I know what philosophy you walking out with. And since you come with a blank slate, I'm setting you and I up for a 6-figure year by having the same information. Why we don't have to reteach anything or unlearn something. So this is the best time for you. Coach Max.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And if anybody else listening, we might not get on the phone every day like me and Kim do, but I'm giving you the same recipe. Just download Coach Max's brain. Now we got what? Shaheed.
Hi, Mr. Allen. This is Nikki. How you doing?
Nick, what's going on?
Hello. Can you get my number from Nona? Like, I don't care about giving it on here, but can you get my number from Nona?
Let's do it how it happens in real life for me. Get my number from Nona. Text me, and we'll start dancing.
Okay, thank you so much.
I don't want to lie to you. Okay.
Okay, that's
all
fine.
Right. But if you text me, we on. I got it. Me and you got some time to do too.
Go ahead, Mr. Allen.
So, Mr. Salam, take me back to you were saying, okay, help me get the trade stuff done. And I sent you a Coach Max video she did, sent it to you YouTube-ish way. How did you have that time with Coach Max? What did you do with that video I gave you? And then back that up right behind it with the candlestick Bible.
That was a beautiful experience. What I was able to do, I was able to listen to Coach Max. When you told me you listened to the Coach Max video more than 30-something times, I made it my business just listen to it over and over and over again. I drove to work every morning, which was an hour and 10-minute drive. I have to work and from work. So, me and Coach Max was constantly each other's friend going and coming from work. And it put me in a position whereby even to this day, I have a lot of theory, but I don't have as much hands-on experiences as everybody else. So it's almost like I have book knowledge, but not practical knowledge. But I know when I hear y'all talking as y'all conversate based on me listening to Coach Max over and over and over and over again, the language aspect of it all just gave me complete, crystal clear understanding on what everybody's talking about, even up to this day, as I listen in and all.
Awesome. And so for Kim and Nick, that's where when Shaheed and I still got trading stuff to do, I already am comfortable with what I'm gonna say to him is going to be an easy translation because I know he did that work. So that's just that. But on this chart right here, that gray line, Tito, can you change the line color to make it bigger? Because this is a super decent point.
This one right here?
Yes, sir, please. Just change it to a super fancy color and then make it bigger. So what Tito showed is that before he drew the circles was that this was a key level because this line, which the line represents 103.890. So the line represents a number on the side, right? So, and we call those actual numbers levels, right? So then can you send me? Yes, well, we got a new one. I'll send it to you in a second. Yes, ma'am. So that line represents the level or the exchange price 103.890. That's right, or 850. I can't see it. So that line has served as support in some spots of the story, which is all the price before it, and it acted as resistance. So what Tito circled now is the different times that the bulls and the bears, the bulls are the people that want the price to go up, the bears are the people that want the price to go down. Together, they represent what I call the crowd, okay? So if we're ever in this thing, we're hanging out together, the crowd is the both bulls and bears together, okay? So a key level shows where the crowd has had a lot of indecisiveness or fighting, if you will, okay? So when I was a kid in Philadelphia, they had something called free falls, right? Where people they all get to fight in one schoolyard or whatever, and everybody be fighting each other. And you can watch the movie Gangs of New York. You have it on it all crazy. So the key levels are where the free falls happen at, where the bulls and bears merge and fight at that level, and you never can be sure how it's going to turn out, which is why we don't trade on key levels. We wait to see who's going to win, the bulls or the bears. But together, I call them the crowd because the way the institutions treat the market is their smart money and the crowd is dumb money, okay? So Tito, myself, Coach Max, we can never institutionally leave from being dumb money. We just use Epic to be smart dumb money, if that makes sense. So at that key level, my partner Lakeisha called it out at the beginning of the week. She said, from everything I see, and she had a top-down analysis, which means at some point she had key levels drawn on there because that's part of a top-down analysis, right? So if you watch how the week worked, she could have just hunted for when price was going to go break that key level. And the last circle Tito drew was a pump fake to that breakout. So even if you took it, you know when it didn't go, keep going, take the small loss. Jessica Arzu was great at that. If you're wrong, be wrong early, right? And then when she was right, which she already knew on Sunday, it just didn't show up on Tuesday, showed up on Thursday. She get to miss all of the stuff under the line. And then when she finally see it break through, because she had already had herself already set. And this is where Tito said he sets alerts. So Tito, can you click that green line real fast for me and make an alert on it?
Yep.
And so what that's going to do is it's going to have your cell phone or your tablet or whatever ring every time price breaks above that alert. If you're in demo, take the trade. Just because you got the alert. If you're in a live trade session, you get the alert. Now you go look at your chart to make sure, is this the pump fake or is this the real deal? And if she would have gotten 10 pips late, so Tito, can you go from the green line and show me 10 pips? If she'd have gotten 10 pips late because she did all that setting up to make sure it was real, she still got the rest of that run to profit from. And what UJ does, Kim, so you can have it and Nikki, she can have it for our conversation. UJ gives you a lot of consolidation, and then it gives you about one run a day. One run during New York, one run during Asia. It doesn't run during London, which is why I always talk to Namsu, who I'm gonna send it to a recording afterwards now. Why take it during London? Because you know it's gonna be popping all crazy back and forth, because that's how it's designed to do. It does it all the time. We call it that it's correlated. So either way, we're at 11:53. Hopefully that was some value, especially that last one for you, Namsu. This is why I don't like you trading the UJ during London, because it's set to do all those wiggly lines on purpose by the design of that pair at that time of day. So, but that's live trading conversation. In demo, click the button. Just in the middle class, we're taught not to be wrong so much that we'll make our trading worse by always trying to be 100% right. And that's the fun and freedom that toy trading did, because we were just wrong for a whole day. So that being said, Mr. Ramos, are you on the call? I didn't think I saw you, but you might be there.
Absolutely, sir. I didn't.
There you go, champion. The call is yours, sir.
Absolutely, man. You guys are phenomenal. I appreciate you so much. Been dealing with my dad is back, so been dealing with all the stuff that we got to get done. So
you got leverage, sir.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate the leverage, and you guys are phenomenal. And guess what? I get to be your leverage today at noon in about 5 minutes. If you guys have guests, feel free to load them up. We'll be doing 2 blitzes. The 5 o'clock will not happen, so we have a 12 o'clock and a 9 o'clock opportunity Zoom today and tomorrow. So feel free to load it up with all of your guests. For those of you who are building the residual side of our business model, and of those who just focusing on the trading, you had a phenomenal Zoom today for the Q&A. So I appreciate what Mr. Allen and Mr. Avila do every single Saturday. So again, at 1 o'clock, corporate will also be doing the Success Lab. So those of you who are able to join in, make sure you get that knowledge from the corporate staff, right from the source of our power, our executive staff at 1 p.m. on opportunity.epictrading.com. And our noon blitz and 9 p.m. blitz, just gonna steal your screen real quick, sir, is at this Zoom link in 5 minutes. Load your guest up, send out that text message, last minute phone call, email, smoke signal, whatever you gotta do, load them up, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, as we serve you and your business. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. Close out the month strong. Make sure you don't let your goals fall to the wayside. Appreciate you, Mr. Allen. Mr. Avila, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
It's all you, Cheeto.
That's it. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Rambis, for all that info. Thank you, Mr. Allen. And if you have any more questions that you didn't get a chance to ask today, please drop them in the GEP chat. If you're not in that chat, let your sponsor know, and we'll make the connection to make it happen. Other than that, have a phenomenal weekend, and we will see you all again next week. God bless.